Okay, well, this is your 8-2 notes, special right triangles. Now, this is just to make your life easier. If it doesn't feel like your life is easier, go ahead and use the Pythagorean theorem. But actually, if you successfully navigate special right triangles, it will make all your calculations a lot simpler. Okay, so the first special right triangle, and I'm gonna have to ask you guys to memorize this, is the 45, 45, 90. And technically, this is an isosceles triangle. So don't forget the two sides are congruent, and in this case, they're x and x. The trick to isosceles, or to the 45, 45, 90, is that you have your two legs are equal, and your third leg, your hypotenuse, is whatever value you have for your side length times the square root of 2. So one is x, the other is x, and then the hypotenuse is x root 2. And we're also today going to look at the 30, 60, 90 triangle. I remember this because everything 30 is times 2 is 60. That's where the hypotenuse being equal to 2x. The hypotenuse is 2x, so it's 30 to 60, which is double. So that's where the 2x comes from. And then the 90 is 30 times 3. So here's where the 3 comes in. So your short side is x. Your medium side is x root 3. And your hypotenuse is 2x. All right, so let me show you how that works in a couple of examples here. The first one I have here, this is a 45, 45, 90. So we can just go ahead and put the 45 here. So we have to identify that our side length is x, and it's an isosceles, so x is also going to be equal to this y side, which is also equal to 3. I shouldn't call it x. Let's go ahead and name it y. So in this case, y is equal to 3 because that's what this side also equals. And then we're going to take that 3 and times it by the square root of 2 to get what our hypotenuse is. So y is equal to 3, x is equal to 3 times the square root of 2. All right. In this scenario, my guy lost its little 90-degree angle. We know our side length is x, and we know our hypotenuse is 5. So we're going to set up a little equation. We're going to take this guy here, x root 2, and we know that's the distance of our hypotenuse, so we're going to set it equal to 5. To solve for x, we're going to divide by root 2. We cannot leave the denominator with a radical. We have to multiply the top and the bottom by root 2. So then the top becomes 5 root 2, and the bottom becomes, anytime you multiply a square root by itself, it ends up equaling what is underneath the square root. So this is 5 root 2 over 2. If you want to see why that is so, when I multiply these two, it's like saying square root of 2 times 2. We know 2 times 2 is 4, and the square root of 4 is 2. Believe me. So let's take a look at a couple of 30, 60, 90 triangle examples. That's what we have here. We have our hypotenuse is our y value, and our short side is our x. Go ahead and on your paper label these hypotenuse, short, and medium, so because we're going to use those relationships to figure out how all of our pieces go together. So if I know my short side is x, I know my hypotenuse is 2x, that gives me no pieces of information, but I know my medium side is 5. So we're going to set up a little medium side equation. So our medium side equation is going to go x root 3 is equal to 5. I'm going to solve for x, so that way I can use it for to solve this problem. So we got x root 3 over root 3 equals 5 over root 3. So x is equal to 5 over root 3. And remember, we can't have a radical in the denominator. So we're going to multiply it by root 3 over 3. And we get 5 root 3 over 3. That's what the x is in our problem. So we're just going to take that and set it equal to our short side. Oh, we already did that. Okay. So now we have to find out what y is. Y is equal to 2 times x. So that is equal to 2 times 5 root 3 over 3. Or y is equal to 10 root 3 over 3. So here's x, and here's y. Okay, so let's look at another 30, 60, 90 triangle. Let's label our sides. This is the hypotenuse. This is the short side. This is the medium side. And we know our hypotenuse is equal to 2 times x. It is up here in our, 2 times x. So whatever our hypotenuse is, we're going to set it equal to 2x. To find x, we divide by 2, and x is equal to 11. So we know that our short side is equal to our 11, and our medium side, in this case, it's our y. It's going to be equal to 11 times the square root of 3. So you don't have to be given the short side in order to find the other sides. You can set up a little equation given the side you are given and solve for the other sides. All right. So in example 2, we're going to find the area. So we have a little triangle here. It's an equilateral triangle. So it's all 6, so each side is 6. So 6 down here and a 6 here. So if you don't have the height for a triangle, you can definitely put that down. It's called an altitude. So we put an altitude down, and when we do that with this equilateral triangle, we make a 30, 60, 90 triangle. The hypotenuse is 6. This is our short side. I know that is equal to 3 because it cuts this 6 centimeters in half. So the short side is 3, the hypotenuse is 6, and the medium side has to be, because if we have our 30, 60, 90, we have 2, x is the hypotenuse, our short side is x, and then our long side is x root 3. So we're going to take that 3, and it's equal and multiply it by the square root of 3. So the height of our triangle is 3 root 3. So now I'm going to take the area formula, 1/2 base times height, and plug in our pieces of information. 1/2, the base is 6. The height is 3 root 3. And then all I have to do is simplify everything together. Half of 6 is 3. 3 times 3 is 9, and I'm stuck with that root 3. So, and that is centimeters squared. So the area is 9 root 3 centimeters squared. Yay! All right, let's take a look at this parallelogram. We know that the area of a parallelogram, and if you don't, you forgot, it's okay, is base times height. The only problem here is we do not have the height. So we cannot use this formula until we calculate the height. We do know that this is a 60-degree angle, and we know that our hypotenuse is 4 meters. So we are going to set up an equation. 2x is equal to 4 meters. X is the short side. X root 3 is the medium side. So we divide both sides by 2, and we get our x is equal to 2. So our height here is 2 root 3, because it is our short side, which is 2, times the square root of 3. So now that we have our height, and we know our base, we can multiply those together to find the area. So it's 2 root 3 times 5, or the 5 and the 2 multiplied together, that's 10 root 3 meters squared. All right. Example 3, we're going to find the area and the perimeter in radical form. So I have a rectangle. His area is pretty simple. He is 5 times 14, which gives us 70. And then I have this guy here. We know that this is 5, and we know we have a 45, 45, 90. So if x is equal to 5, then the hypotenuse is x root 2 or 5 root 2. We actually don't need that for area. We need it for the perimeter. It's 5, so this is 5. Okay, so the area is 1/2 the base, which is 5. So the area of this triangle is 1/2 base of 5, and height is also 5. So area is equal to 1/2 of 25, which for us is 12.5. So to find the total area, we add 70 plus 12.5 to get 82.5. Perimeter is a little bit different story. We're going to add each piece together. 5, 14, 5 root 2, 5, and 14. So that's 5. There's 2 5s, 2 14s, and a 5 root 2. When we add those together, we get 38 plus 5 root 2. All right, if there's time left, go ahead and complete the practice problems for 8-2.